We're live, guys. We're live. I'm Jeff with eBay Addicts, and today my guest is Philly Phlipper. How are you doing today?
I'm good, man. How about yourself?
Good. I'm going to go ahead and put you on full screen. Tell everybody who you are and where you're from and what you do.
So my name is Paul. I go by the Philly Phlipper on YouTube, which kind of gives away where I'm from. I live in the Philadelphia area. What I do is I own two pretty much full-time businesses. I own a moving company full-time, and then I resell on the side. But that's pretty much full-time, part-time, all the time, as Glass City Picker says. I started the moving company in 2019, I believe. 2018, 2019, a while ago. Then I started reselling June of 2019. And I started getting into storage units, which is what I mainly do, about September of 2019. So I've been doing storage units for about a year and a half.
Okay, yeah, I didn't hear the first part you said. What was the other company you said that you do? You do a landscaping company? Is that what you said?
Moving people. Moving, then I do like clean outs, but mainly moving people.
Oh, I didn't know if you meant if it was like moving furniture or if you do like junk removal. I didn't know.
Both.
Okay, cool. So, how is your reselling been? You said you've been reselling for about a year now, correct?
I've been reselling for about a year and a half, maybe a little more. I started June 2019.
Yeah, awesome. So I wanted to say hi to Jennifer Hayes that's in the chat. Hey, Jennifer.
Jennifer Hayes is the best.
We just had technical difficulties. So you've been reselling for a year and a half now, and you have a big warehouse that you store all your merchandise in, right?
Correct.
All right, and you want to tell people how many items you currently have listed on your eBay store?
I want to be exact here. As of right now, I have 4,075 active listings on eBay.
Right,
which is a lot.
I know, right? So 4,000 items on your eBay store. I was watching you, man. I don't know if you've ever seen what is that, Resell Rabbit? But when I was watching your videos, you kind of remind me of Resell Rabbit a little bit.
That is like the ultimate compliment right there, man. Resell Rabbit's awesome. He is what I'm striving to be. Yeah.
Yeah, you just remind me of him a little bit with the way you're like walking through your warehouse and you're just like so nonchalant about it. And you just kind of remind me of Resell Rabbit a little bit when I watch your videos.
I appreciate it, man. Resell Rabbit's great. Yeah.
So tell everybody about how your sales were over the weekend, man. You had a killer weekend, didn't you?
Yeah, it's this was my first weekend where I finally got off of eBay jail. I've been in eBay jail for almost 2 months now due to things out of my control. I shipped a lot of stuff during Christmas, and because of USPS, a lot of stuff got late, a lot of stuff got lost, and for some reason, I became in charge of that, and it wasn't beyond my control. I had a lot of cases open against me of items I received, and eBay ruled those cases closed without seller resolution for some reason. And I got dinged from December until February, and I was below standard for 2 months. So when you're below standard on eBay, it kind of kills your sales quite a bit. You know, you can't do promoter listings, you can't run sales, you can't do global shipping program. And on Saturday, I got out of eBay jail, and I finally had a good weekend. And I shipped a total amount of 50 packages today. So 50 mainly was eBay. It was 41 eBay packages, and then it was 9 total on Mercari and Poshmark combined.
All right, so you had over 50 sales over the weekend. So what was your like gross numbers on those sales?
Gross means like total, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little less than 1,500.
Oh, that's great for a weekend of sales. That's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I count weekend is after I ship on Friday. I shipped Friday at around like 3 p.m. So from 3 p.m. Friday until Monday, like 12 p.m. That's what it was.
Oh man, well it sounds like you had a killer weekend, man. So talk to me a little bit about your warehouse and the way you go about storing your items. Because once you get over like 4,000 or 5,000 items listed on eBay, it's almost like you have a treasure hunt finding the item, and then when the item sells, you have another treasure hunt looking through all your items you have listed, trying to pull your orders. So how is that going?
Well, I tried to be as organized as possible with the listings, but like you said, once you get past a certain amount, it's really hard to keep it fully organized. But I have like shelf that are or like lettered. I have bins that I do, and then half of my inventory is closed, and that's all stored in different shelves and bins by brands, by sizes, by male, women, kids, all that. So I try to be as organized as possible, but with 4,000 listings, it's still pretty hard. Today, it took me about an hour, a little over an hour, to find all 50 sales, which isn't too bad. Sometimes I spent like half an hour looking for one item, but today it wasn't anything that's terrible.
Yeah, I can relate. I'm at like 5,800 items right now, and I'm not in eBay jail per se, but I have an issue where eBay sent me an email and said they had to verify my bank account, and until my bank account for whatever gets verified, they won't let me list any items. And all the money that I'm making in sales, they're holding all the money that I'm making in sales right now. So that's kind of a pain in the butt. So I don't know if you had that happen to you yet, but they said that they were going to do that to everybody, that they all had to go in and verify their bank account. So I had to go to the bank and show them bank statements and all my paperwork and submit all the documents to show them that that my bank account was current, it was legit. And I was telling them, I called them over the weekend and I said, man, I didn't change anything on my end that needed to be verified. So I don't know what it is. I don't know what the holdup is. So that's what I've been doing today, is trying to get out of eBay jail myself, just so I can start listing items again. So I got like a little stockpile in the corner of my room waiting to be listed. So that's kind of what I've been doing. So tell me, man, how did you go about growing your eBay store? Because it's not easy going from 0 items to 4,000 items. Like, it's not something that happens overnight. I mean, you got to hustle, because as you're listing items are selling. So it's like you constantly have to, as I call it, restocking the shelves,
Oh yeah, for sure. So like what I started with before was just doing yard sales and thrift stores and just the regular stuff that almost every single reseller does. And that was for about 3 or 4 months. And then when you get into where what I do is storage units, you can get listings, thousands of listings in no time, because when you buy a storage unit, especially if it's a big storage unit that's full of good stuff, you pretty much buy the family's history of items. And in that storage unit, there's video games, there's electronics, there's clothes, there's media, CDs, movies, everything that you can think of. And most of that stuff can be sold and does sell on eBay. So when you pretty much open up a good amount of storage units like I do, or you go through a good amount like I do, I try to go through about 1 or 2 a week. You get a lot of inventory that way. So that's how I've been getting inventory. Now, to help me with the listings, I hired a girl. Her name is Vita, where she does pretty much just apparel listings for me, and she does about 100 listings a week just of apparel items. And so she's been doing that. I've been listing like the other stuff, the plates, the bowls, the video games, the toys. I've been listing that, and she does all the clothes. And slowly, we've been growing it to 4,000 listings now. I have an anchor store, so I can list up to 10,000. So I'm going to test that limit, see if you can get up that high.
Okay, now awesome. Yeah, I believe I saw you. You were on Buffalo Pickers channel recently, right?
Yeah, about 2 weeks ago or a week and a half ago. Yeah.
I'm sorry, you're breaking. Okay. Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I was just saying that you were recently on the Buffalo Pickers channel. I caught you maybe 2 weeks ago, I believe.
Yes, that's correct.
All right, and you were talking about that you bought a storage locker for like $10. So could you talk to us about this storage locker that you bought for $10? And I was watching your channel recently. It said that you bought a storage locker for like $40. So I just wanted to bring that up, because sometimes people have a misconception because they watch other people that buy storage lockers and it's $1,000, $2,000 for a storage locker, and they think they need a lot of capital to get started, a lot of capital and resources to invest in buying storage lockers. Can you talk about what your experience has been, and have you found any good items in there, or like what percentage of it was stuff that you was like garbage? What percentage of it was stuff that you maybe donated to the thrift store, and what percentage of it was like, man, this pile here I can resell it and recoup my money back?
Well, that percentage usually changes based on how much I spend. When you buy something for $10, about 80% of that unit is garbage. You gotta expect that because you're paying only $10 for it. But the unit that I bought for $10 was a 10 by 10, and it had about, I would say, probably 20 to 30 bins plus boxes worth of merchandise. Now the merchandise was pretty much like kids' toys. It was kids' clothes, which I donated all of it because I don't want to deal with kids' clothes anymore. And then it was adult clothes and like adult watches and stuff like that. And yeah, out of the $10 that I spent for that unit, I calculated I had almost like $1,200 worth of inventory, which is pretty good ROI, $1,000 to $1,200. And most of it was in apparel for like an adult male. Like today alone, I sold a Columbia vest from that unit for $40. Today alone, I sold a Ralph Lauren button up that sold for $20. Those both came from that storage unit. And then I had a whole bin full of those kind of clothes. And on top of that, I had a bunch of watches and stuff like that and toys. So that comes with the $10 unit. That was about 80% trash. The 20% was keepers, and it was about 1,200. Now, from if I spend more, like if I spend 200 plus in a storage unit, I want the trash to good ratio to be a lot more in favor, like in my favor, maybe like 40% trash for 50% trash only. Those people who spend $1,000 to $2,000 on storage units, I think they're a little crazy, or they know something I don't. Because I've been to some auctions where I seen units go up for that much, and I really did not see anything worth of value in them. But I guess they did. The most I ever spent on a storage unit was 500, and that one just had a bunch of good furniture that sold for me pretty quick. So as far as like you said, capital, you don't really need that much capital like financially to get into this. You do need a lot of capital, as in like space, labor, truck, time. That's what you would need if you want to get into storage units. You need space to put that stuff. You need a big enough truck to carry that stuff from the storage unit to your location, and then you need labor, pretty much labor help loading it, or sorting through it. Before, in the beginning, I used to do it by myself, and it just took way too much time. Now I have always one of my guys help me to load it and unload it, and it's always super helpful when that happens.
Yeah, well, I mean, it sounds good when you're like, hey, I can show up and buy a whole storage locker for $10, $20, $40, and then maybe you come home with $800 or $1,000 worth of merchandise that you can list and resell on eBay. It's just some of these guys that saying, hey, I'm spending $1,000, $1,200, $1,500 on a storage locker. I'm just like, are these guys seeing something that I don't see? Because then
Yeah.
they'll pull out like this armoire or a couch or a dresser, and it's like, oh, well, this desk here is going to sell for $200. I'm like, in what world is that desk going to sell for $200? Like, I just don't see it. But just give me a second. Let me get caught up with the chat. We got a bunch of people in the chat today. I wanted to say hi to Jennifer Hayes. The Cap guy is here hanging out with us today. Tina is here. She asked a question. She wants to know, how many items a day should you be selling with that amount of goods? I believe you talked about that on your YouTube channel recently, and you said that your goal right now is to sell 80 items a week. Tracy's Venture says 4,000 items is a huge accomplishment. Yeah, especially if you just started a year and a half ago. It says we're struggling to get to 1,000. Well, you just have to kind of keep at it. What I've been doing lately is trying to buy items in bulk. Like maybe buy a big wholesale lot of items in bulk. Sometimes I'll buy 500, 1,000 items shipped to my house, and your cost of goods is, 30 cents, 40 cents, 50 cents an item, and you can buy stuff in bulk and then list things, sell them retail prices and buy them wholesale. I wanted to say hi to Joe, the Philly picker is here.
What's up, Joe?
Yeah, I don't know if you know Joe or not. You guys live in the same city. Have you met up with Joe yet?
I haven't met up with anybody from around here, but there's a lot of people who live around me. Like Jennifer Hayes is like 40 minutes away from me as well. So a lot of people are in my like the Northeast area here. It's pretty popular for reselling, I guess.
Yeah, Joe's a good guy. He's been on the channel before, and he
Yes.
recently hit 1,000 subscribers. Tina said, yes, mine is approved now. I think she was talking about, having to get your account approved.
Yeah.
Tracy Ventures is here. Landshark Picker is here. I saw Wendy in the chat. I wanted to say hi to Wendy. And I wanted to say hi to Cameron is here. He says hey. So hey, thanks for coming by, Gravity Goods. We appreciate you. So his Flippy McFlipperson just stopped by. He says, "What's up, everybody?" So man, tell me what's been going on as far as the question we had in the chat: how many items a day should you be selling with that amount of goods? You said that right now your goal is to sell 80 items a week, and in the future you might want to bump it up to 100 items a week in sales. Do you want to talk a little bit about what your goals are with your reselling business?
Yeah, I talked about that today in the video I actually posted today. But yeah, what I'm trying to do is sell about 10 things a day, Monday to Friday, then sell about 30 things on a weekend. And if I'm in good standing with eBay, I don't see how that should be an issue reaching that goal. So pretty much if I do that, that is me selling 80 items a week, which is about 2% of my store. So it's not that crazy to think I can do that. Other people can easily buy or sell 5% or 10% of the store every single week. So for me to sell 2% of my store every single week, I don't think that's too crazy of a reach. The problem with mine is a lot of the items that I have are very long tail. Like I said, half of my items are apparel related, clothes, shoes, jackets, that kind of stuff that takes a while to sell. But the ROI on it is just insane, So it's worth my time to keep it. Like I said, like I can buy a storage unit for $10, have 3 full bins worth of clothes, and list that. And that clothes might take a year to sell, 2 years to sell, but I'm getting about $1,000 back on a $10 purchase. So it's worth it for me to do that, especially if I have help listing it. So like a lot of other people who have smaller stores, they have maybe more better items that move fast, might have a lot of like ink or video games or stuff like that. I have just a huge variety of everything. So for me, I think 10 a day is pretty doable. Anything more than that, I'm very happy about. Anytime I hit 10, I'm ecstatic. So that means 80 items a week, which I blew that out obviously this week with the $50 weekend. But usually it's pretty much around there is what I sell.
Okay, cool. Tracy asked a question that says, I assume that you are full-time. You said you have another full-time job that you work as well as far as moving people's furniture and junk hauling business that you do as well. But she wanted to know if you're a full-time reseller.
It's a tough question. Like I said, I'm pretty much full-time reseller now because I spend most of my time at the warehouse. But I do own a moving company, and most of the time with my moving business, I have guys who I hired to do all the labor for me. But some days like today, I had to actually step out and do a job. And so I probably spend about maybe 10 to 20 hours a week with doing physical labor for the moving company. But then the rest of the time, I do the appointments, I talk to the customers, I do the estimates, I do all that full time for my moving business. And then the rest of the time, I spend here at the warehouse. So it's hard to say if I'm full time or not. I definitely put in full time hours for the resale business. That's for sure. Just of all the stuff I have to list, and on top of all the eBay stuff, I have a ton of stuff that I sell locally, like all the furniture that I find from storage units, all the big electronics that I find from storage units, all that stuff I post locally. I do meetups with people locally, and I sell that locally. So that takes a lot of time as well. So I actually would like to maybe calculate 1 week to see how much hours I put into this, but it's definitely full-time hours for sure.
Over 50 items that he sold over the weekend. And I think you said your sales was over $1,200 or something in sales for the weekend. Isn't that correct? She wanted to know she wanted to know what some of the price ranges were with the items that you sold on your eBay store.
A majority of the clothes sells for about $10 or $20. That's just like a common brands that everybody has at their house. Like I'm trying to think now, on top of my head, like Forever 21, H&M, stuff like that. A majority of clothes was like that. It sells for between 10 and 20 all the time. I don't sell anything for less than $10. And then the rest of the stuff was probably 20 to 50 range. I'm trying to think if I had anything that big this week. I don't think I had anything over $50. Oh no, I sold a board game for $70. That's probably my biggest sale this weekend. But most of the stuff is probably in the 20 to 50 range. That's probably would be an accurate estimate. Flipping accountants
I'm the
here.
same way. I don't really like listing items on eBay unless I can list it for at least $10 and the customer pays shipping. Is anything below $10, you have to factor in the time it takes you to list the item, take photographs, box it up, ship it out, market the item, and it's like, is it worth all that for $5.99 free shipping? To me, it's not.
Yeah.
So, I wanted to talk to you about some of the items. What are some of the items that you prefer to sell? Because when I was watching your channel today, you had like model cars, you had all video games, you had all type of merchandise that you sell. Is there anything in particular, like you maybe go to yard sales or thrift stores or Goodwills and look for merchandise there as well, or is it all just straight from storage lockers?
Well, right now, pretty much due to the weather, due to COVID in Philadelphia, it's really hard to find sourcing almost anywhere else but storage units right now. At yard sales, I really don't care what I buy as long as it makes me money. I try to stay away from clothes at yard sales just because I have so much clothes already from storage units. So I try not to look at the clothes at yard sales. At yard sales, I like do the common stuff. I love electronics. I love video games. Video games are always easy sellers. Pretty much stuff like that. The model cars, the cars that I sold today, those came all from storage units. I didn't find those at yard sales. I had a whole big box of them in a storage unit that I got. As far as thrift stores are concerned, I always go to the electronics section and like the sporting goods, like gloves, bats, stuff like that. I'll try to look for that at the thrift stores, but it's probably the same for everybody else. But here for me, thrift stores are usually always dead. By the time I get there, there's always a bunch of people already scanning stuff and looking for stuff in order on their phone, like searching everything in. So it's really hard for me to find anything actually at thrift stores. So I try to go to other places where people are not. What I've been doing when COVID started, I started doing donation buys. So pretty much I have like a little flyer that I put on Nextdoor and I put on Facebook Marketplace and in different reselling groups. And pretty much I tell them, hey, I'm a reseller. I would love to come and buy your donations. And what I do is if people have like a bag of stuff they want to take to Goodwill, they reach out to me. I go to their house and I pay them like $5 for that bag, and I take it, and then I get that stuff before Goodwill gets it. So pretty much I get it before all the resellers get it. And I've been doing that, and I've been having pretty good success with that as well.
Yeah, awesome. I just wanted to give a shout out to my buddy Justin, the Flipping Accountant. He recently hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Oh, nice.
So we're happy for you, man. Congratulations on that. And I wanted to say hi to Jennifer and Tina and Tracy, and I wanted to say hi to the Cap guy. So, hey, man, there's a couple of things I wanted to talk to you about. First is, when you're going to go buy a storage locker, what is like the main determining factor of if you're going to buy this storage locker or not? Like, because I've never bought storage lockers before. So what would be like the determining factor to you when you walk in and you're looking at it, you're like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pay $40 for this locker or $50, or if you're like, nah, I'm going to pass on this one. I don't see any profit there. Like, what is specifically that stands out to you that you're looking for?
First thing to determine if there's any value in it is how it's packed. If there's stuff in totes, stuff in boxes, taped up, labeled, you can tell that people really care about that kind of stuff, and that raises the value for me. A lot of times you go into a storage unit, there's just stuff all over the place. There's like clothes on the ground. There's like bags everywhere. Stuff is ripped open. You can tell people just rushed it. They have like final stuff at the bottom. They put like a grill or TV on top of it for some reason. Like it looks just like super unorganized, super terrible. And if I would buy that for like $10 just because I know there's probably something good in it, but I wouldn't spend too much money on that just because it looks very disorganized. And probably a lot of things already broke in transit and all that stuff. So I really don't try to stay away from that. So a lot of it is just how clean and organized it looks. Another reason, a big factor is size. Every unit is different. Like obviously I would spend more on a 10 by 20 unit than a 5 by 5 unit just because there's so much more stuff in it. What is a big factor for a lot of people is furniture. Because I don't know if people know this. When you buy a storage unit, you have to buy everything out of it. You just can't go and pick whatever you want and then just leave the rest for the storage place. When you buy the unit, you have to buy every single piece in there. And they only give you 2 days to clear it out. They only give you 48 hours. So a lot of people who don't have the stuff that I do, they don't have trucks or a warehouse space. If they see a bunch of furniture in it, they will leave it alone because they don't want to deal with that, or they don't have the manpower to move that furniture in 2 days. I have a moving company. I have a moving truck. I have laborers. And so a lot of times the units with furniture I get for super cheap because nobody wants to do anything with them. I've had some cases where I had a 10 by 20 unit full of furniture that I got for $10 because nobody else wanted to mess with it. Or I had a really nice like antique vintage storage unit that had a huge piano in the front, and nobody wanted to bid on it because the piano was there. They didn't know how to move it. So I get that stuff for dirt cheap because nobody wants to deal with furniture. I love doing furniture. I sell furniture all day, every day, locally on Marketplace and for good money. So anytime there's furniture there, I love that kind of stuff.
Okay, awesome. Now, first of all, I wanted to say hi to the Flippin' Sports guy.
Up,
I think I missed Landshark Picker was here in the chat. I don't know if I missed him. I didn't miss him on purpose, but Landshark Picker was here, and Wendy is here. And we had a few people here. Tracy says, I'm so tempted to do a storage locker, but I'm worried I won't be able to handle it. It seems exciting, though. Yeah, I mean, it's like a modern-day treasure hunter going in there, going through these bags of boxes and not knowing exactly what you're going to get from these storage lockers. So all that stuff sounds pretty exciting. I just don't have a big truck or a trailer to haul the stuff in. I drive a little Toyota, and there's no way I can fit a mattress or a box springs or a dresser and tie it to the roof of my Toyota. It's just not going to happen, bro. It's just not going to happen. But so talk to me about your new series. I'm excited about it. It's called Rags to Riches. And basically you get merchandise for free, and your goal is to get merchandise for free and flip it and resell it for a profit. So tell everybody about your new series that you started. I'm excited about it. Tell us about it.
Yeah. So what I was trying, last year, at this time, like around January, I did a 52,000 challenge where I only gave myself $50, and then I had to use that $50 to buy stuff and flip it to make 1,000. And that I did that in a couple of weeks. That was way too easy for me. So I try to challenge myself more, and now I have $0, and I can't ever use any of my money in this series. So what I'm doing is just looking on Nextdoor, on Facebook Marketplace, on Craigslist, or just when I'm driving around and see something on the curb. I look at that stuff, and I want to see if I could take that and flip it and make money. So the goal I made for myself is $5,000, and to see if I can, see if I can make $5,000 just of stuff that I get for free, stuff that people's trash, pretty much. And the reason why I want to start is on my way to work that day, I saw somebody throwing out a dresser on the curb. I stopped real quick on my picked it up, and I sold that dresser for $100 in about 2 days. So somebody pretty much left a $100 bill on the ground for me. I picked it up, and it was mine. So I decided to do. I started that day. So it's been doing pretty good. I actually had a pickup today that I'll share probably a couple of days on my thing. Somebody was throwing out a kitchen table and chairs that are in pristine condition that can probably sell for some decent money. But yeah, when you when I just drive to work, I see stuff people throw out all the time. Nextdoor and Facebook Marketplace, there's so much stuff people give away for free. So that's what I'm doing and trying to turn that into $5,000, which I think I can hopefully do.
That sounds exciting to me, man. Yeah, I talk about sometimes looking on Craigslist and looking on the free section on a Saturday or Sunday, you can find stuff left over from yard sales that people, for whatever reason, didn't sell, and they put it out to the street curb, and you can just come by and pick it up and flip it and resell it on eBay. The stuff that you want to keep, you can keep. The stuff that's garbage, you throw in the garbage, and the stuff you want to donate to the thrift store, you can donate it. So you can definitely, if you hustle, go out there and get free merchandise. But to me, man, if you're able to get free merchandise and flip it and make an extra $5,000, that's exciting, bro. What are you gonna do with that extra $5,000 worth of merchandise that you get for free and you flip it? What are you gonna do with that?
Like I said in my video, I'm probably gonna put it down as a deposit for another box truck. I need another truck, so I'm probably gonna, they're around $20,000, so that's hopefully gonna go towards that, and hopefully by this time next year I'll pass $5,000, so be a bigger deposit. And right now it's also really profitable to do it because a lot of people are at home due to COVID. They're bored. So a lot of them are doing like a bunch of DIY projects and restoration projects. So a lot of times the furniture that you could never sell before because it's scratched or beat up, people will buy it from you now and restore it at their by themselves. So before, if I had like a dresser that had a big scratch on it, or I would just throw it out. But now people actually buy that stuff for restoration projects. So like people buy everything now. Like I've had these like chairs that had terrible seats on it. Somebody still bought them because they said, oh, I'm training reupholstery at home. So she wanted to reupholster her seats by herself. So like right now people are buying absolutely everything. So it's a good time for that challenge.
Oh man, awesome! Yeah, I love it. You're able to get free merchandise in it where you have no money tied up in it. You can turn around and flip it and resell it and put some money in your pocket. So I wanted to say hi to this overstuffed house.
Hey, Nancy.
Tracy is here. Says we flip free stuff all the time. It's a special kind of rush, pure profit. I know, exactly. Right?
You can't be free.
Isn't that awesome? So we have a couple of questions in the chat here. Wendy says, do you ever sell items straight from the storage unit?
I did before I had a warehouse. Before I had a warehouse, if I had furniture in a storage unit, I would actually take a picture of it at the actual storage unit and then hope somebody buys it from me there or buys it that day and I can just deliver it. But now that I have a warehouse, I don't usually even go through the stuff at the storage unit. I bring everything here and I take pictures of it here. But before I used to do it quite a bit, yeah.
Okay, awesome. Now, we had a question from the Cap guy. He says, what is your best find that you found so far in a storage locker?
Good question. I've had a storage locker that had a bunch of like power generators in them, like for big offices, and it had about 8 or 9 of them in them. And I sold one of them by themselves for $500, and the other one sold for about like $200 plus. So that was a pretty good one. I never like when you watch those Storage Wars shows, like almost every single one of them, they find like diamond rings and like Picassos and stuff like that in them. That's not how it goes. That's really rare for you to find anything like that. But that's probably the best find for me.
Yeah, I think some of those Storage Wars, man, to be honest with you, I think some of the stuff they put in those lockers are planted there for the show because it's quote unquote reality TV show. But they still got to get eyeballs on the show, so they got to kind of throw some curveballs in there. The Cap guy says, and what is the strangest item? What is like the strangest, weirdest, unusual item where you're just like, what is this? Like what?
There's a lot of things I don't even want to discuss because it's not really kid friendly. But like there's a lot of adult toys that you find. And stuff like that you want to go into. But probably the strangest thing I found is one guy had a mixtape, a homemade mixtape, and half of it was Tupac songs, and the other half was Billy Graham sermons. So
wow.
that's quite a combination. He liked Tupac and Billy Graham. So that's probably pretty strange. But then there's a lot of strange stuff when you go into like the adult toys and stuff. But I try to stay away from that. And every time I get that, I use gloves and just throw it out. But there's a lot of weird things that you find in storage lockers. Oh wait! I forgot. Strangest thing is somebody's ashes. That's kind of strange, right? Probably somebody's ashes. Somebody had an urn full of ashes, but I just gave that back to the storage unit, and then they contacted the family and gave it back to the family because that's probably pretty strange too.
Yeah, man, I wouldn't want the negative mojo or negative karma to come back on me. I think I would do the same thing, give it back to them. Be like, hey, I found this in a locker. Can you give this back to the family?
Yeah, because like I probably could give it back myself because there's a lot of people leave a lot of personal information behind too, which is not good. Like people leave like their copies of their addresses and all that stuff. So I could have went to that house and picked it up, but I didn't want to be the guy who says, oh yeah, by the way, I just bought all your stuff. Here's your grandpa's ashes. I don't want to be that kind of guy. So I just gave it to the storage unit, and I hope they contacted the family and gave it back to them. But that's right. I just gave it to them and then got it off my hands.
Okay, awesome. Now, we didn't get a chance to talk about this yet, but can you talk a little bit about what your backstory is? Like, you've been a reseller now for 1.5 years. What were you doing before you became a full-time reseller? Like, what was your background? Like, what have you been doing up to this point before you became a full-time reseller?
Well, I was doing the moving business, and what you don't realize before you own a moving company is when you do moving, you get an opportunity to get a lot of free stuff. A lot of times customers move and they can't take something with them. So they say, hey, do you want this? Or hey, can you give this to Goodwill for me? And before I had the mind to resell, I would just always say no or just always give it to Goodwill. Now, now it's like, oh, you don't want that couch? Yeah, I'll take it off your hands and I can sell that couch. So before I just did the moving company pretty much full time. I actually did all the labor for it. So I was doing that. And what got me into reselling is I listened to a Gary V podcast, Gary Vaynerchuk, I think that's his name. He's like a motivational speaker. He's really good, like smart, business savvy person. So I was just listening to him to see how I could grow my moving business. And he had a podcast last summer, or not, summer of 2019, where he challenged his listeners to make an extra $5,000 that summer with yard sale stuff. And I never actually like thought of like yard sales being like money makers until that podcast. So then I started going through these things and I was like, wow, I can buy something for $1, sell it for 25, pretty good. And pretty much that grew into thrift stores, which grew into storage units, which grew into this warehouse right here.
Really, and how much does your warehouse cost every month for you to stay there in your warehouse?
I have 4,000 square feet, and I pay a little less than $1,500 a month, which is really, really good.
Yeah.
Gary V's
Somebody
a genius.
said Gary V is a genius.
It's very true.
Hey, somebody said in the chat that we're having an echo. Can you check and see if you have an echo when you're in?
I don't see it. This is the only window that I have running.
I think we're good now. I don't hear it now. I just want to double check. Do you have YouTube on in the background or something?
This is the only window running, so we should be fine.
Okay, we're good. Let's just roll with it. So tell me, man, what is your plans for the rest of this year for 2021 as far as your YouTube and resale business? Tell people where they can find you at on YouTube and Instagram. I have your links in the description below.
Jen's been really good with these links too. Jen's killing it with the links. You can find me on Philly Phlipper on a YouTube channel. Before I had like number goals, like, oh, I want to reach 1,000 subs, or I want to do this. I just want to provide right now. I just want to provide good content that people enjoy. That's pretty much that's my only goal on YouTube, to provide good content that people actually come back and watch, because you can have 10,000 subs, but nobody can be watching your stuff, you know? So that's my goal with YouTube, is just keep providing good content, maybe do different challenge series, show what I do, all that stuff. For my eBay, the goal is just to continue to grow it, keep getting more merchandise, keep selling more merchandise, maybe in the future upgrade to even a bigger space. This is my third time now upgrading warehouses. I started with 1,000 square feet. Then I got 2,500. Now I'm at 4,000. So I'm hoping to see how long this thing lasts. Right now it's getting probably almost like at 60%, 70% capacity. So I might have to upgrade in the future and get more stuff. I'm thinking of maybe in the far future, not this year, to do like a brick and mortar store and sell stuff there, like just mainly like furniture and bigger stuff like that. But as of now, I'm pretty happy with local sales, eBay sales. And yeah, I guess another goal is just to stay out of eBay jail. It's probably a goal for everybody to be on eBay's good side, so you can continue to sell and maybe develop more platforms. Like I'm on eBay, Mercari, and Poshmark. I'm trying to get into Facebook Marketplace online. Yeah.
Hey, you're breaking up. I can barely hear you. Are you there?
I can barely hear you myself. So thanks, Tracy.
Go very well. I think I lost him.
It's Jeff. Jeff's connection. They're saying your connection's bad, Jeff.
Yeah, I was just saying that I had a an issue with my connection. It was freezing up for a second. But go ahead. I apologize, guys. So what I was going to ask you is that as far as growing your eBay store, I think you said on your YouTube channel the other day that your goal right now is to have 80 sales a week, and you wanted to increase that to 100 sales in a week. But I think that was a week on eBay. Is that correct?
I have no clue what you said, but it sounded right. You're breaking up again, but yeah, I'm trying to sell 80 a week, but I'm trying to go to 100 a week. And like I was saying before, I'm trying to get into multiple platforms. Like right now, I only sell on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. I'm trying to get into Facebook Marketplace online. The Cajun Roots reseller told me about Bonanza. Maybe I'm going to try and get into that. Trying to just get my foot in all these doors and seeing if that will help increase sales. Now, I know Amazon is a big giant. It's a huge beast, but I don't think what I sell fits that platform. Like most of my stuff is used. It's not new, and people don't usually go to Amazon to buy like used items. So I don't think I'm going to go into Amazon, even though it's a huge potential for huge money there. But I'm going to stick that to Buffalo Picker, as that's going to be his dominion. But I'm trying to find other places to sell online so I can grow it that way as well.
Okay, awesome. So explain to people if they're maybe a part-time reseller or maybe they're doing it on the side and they want to make more money, they want to make more sales. What would it take for someone to increase their sales? How could they get to the point where they have, for example, you had 50 sales over the weekend. What would they need to do where they can get to the point where they have 50 sales over the weekend or 80 or 100 sales a week from their eBay store? Do you have any tips or tricks or advice to help them generate some more sales and make more money?
Use proper words in your listings. Don't be lazy with the listing. Take good pictures. A lot of times people have a shirt and they just say polo shirt. We can describe it. What color is it? What size is it? Is there any accents to it? People like to search for details. They like searching for stripes or whatever kind of patterns. So be as descriptive as possible in your listings. Pick the right categories. Pick the right what is that? I forgot the word for it. Fit all the descriptions that eBay wants you to fit. The size, the year, all that. You might think it's a waste of time, but somebody is searching for each one of those things. That's why they ask you to fill that up. And the more detailed your post is, the more eyes are on it, and the more people will see it. So I would do that, and then just like I said, get your hands in as many jars as possible. What I sell on eBay, I now cross post to Poshmark and Mercari, so that if maybe people don't have eBay stores but they have Poshmark stores, they can find my items there. Or people don't have eBay stores or Poshmark stores, they have a Mercari account and they can find my item there. And sometimes I get more money for items on the other platforms than I get on eBay. So and doesn't really take me that much time to cross post. Doesn't take me that much time at all, and it results in some decent sales. Like this weekend alone, I sold 6 things on Poshmark for almost $300. I wouldn't have that $300 if I didn't cross post. So it's definitely worth my time.
Yeah, for sure. I want Flipperson is in the house. This overstuffed house is here. Wanted to say hi. Derek from Fundamentals of Side Hustling is here. I want to say hi to Jennifer Hayes. And I'm sorry, I've been having internet connection issues today. But hey, man,
are you driving through a tunnel or something?
On YouTube and Instagram. No, I'm not in a tunnel. It's just that and I just had bad connection. When you're out in the middle of the sticks, out in the middle of nowhere, your connection doesn't seem to be the best. So I apologize, guys. I'll try to do better next time. So yeah, let everybody know where they can find you at on Instagram and YouTube, so they can go by and follow you. Think I missed somebody in the chat. Yeah, Tracy Spencer says that she just subbed to your
Thanks,
channel.
Tracy.
And give me your final thoughts, and I'll let you go, man. I apologize, guys, for the bad internet connection.
No problem. We should do it again when we got proper connection, so be all smooth. You can find me on Philly Phlipper, Philly Phlipper on Instagram, Philly Phlipper on YouTube, and then my stores are linked in my Instagram and my YouTube channel. I have links to my stores and all that stuff down below. But yeah, I on my Instagram I post pretty much cool things that I find in storage units. That's pretty much what my Instagram is used for. Different unique things. Like my last post, I posted a bunch of license plates that I found in storage units. Some go back to like 1920s. That was pretty cool. And then on YouTube, I try to post about 3 to 5 videos a week. Majority of them are my like daily vlogs where you see me go to storage units, buy stuff, go through the stuff, and sell the stuff, hopefully. And then now, like you just mentioned, I'm doing that Rags to Riches series. That's like a 5 to 10 minute video that I'm going to post every single week as well.
Yeah, awesome. You guys can go follow him. He did a video. Items for free to flip them, resell them on eBay. And you also showed like 50 items of things that you recently sold over the weekend. So go by and check out his channel. I recently subscribed to his channel as well after I saw you on Buffalo Picker. So go by and check him out. And I believe you'll probably hit 1,000 subscribers this year. You're at like 680 or close to 700. So you'll be there pretty soon.
I appreciate it. Like I said, my goal is just to make good content, and the subs will show up. But pretty much that's where I'm coming at. I try to that if people actually do give me shout outs, people come to my channel, I want them to stick around, you know. So my goal is just to provide good content. Robot alert. Yes, land truck. I agree.
All right. Well, hey, for everyone today, give me your final thoughts, man, and we'll let you go.
Can you repeat that?
I said, could you give me your final thoughts? If someone was interested in maybe buying storage lockers, give me your thoughts on that.
If somebody wants to buy storage lockers, do it. Just be prepared for how much work it is. It's not a get rich scheme. It is a lot of work. There's a lot of trash. There's a lot of labor that needs to be involved. But it does result in a lot of potential money, potential sales. If you want to buy storage units, start with small ones. Buy 5x5s that are pretty much full of bins and totes that you can maybe start in your house. And then if you want to build it up, you can build it up that way.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you for coming on today, guys. And I'm sorry about my internet connection issues, but I'll see you guys on Wednesday. We have the $1 Million Peddlers are going to be on the show on Wednesday at 4 o'clock. And believe it or not, I went to their eBay store. They have 250,000 items listed on one of their eBay stores. So you guys don't want to miss it. I'll see you guys there Wednesday at 4 o'clock Eastern. You guys have a great day. And I want to thank everybody in the chat and thank our guests for coming on and hanging out with us today. So we appreciate you guys. We'll catch you on the next one. See you later. Bye.